Okay, let's get going. Let's get sorted. Thank you very much for joining us. As always, I hope you had an amazing Easter weekend. It was fantastic. We've obviously got to take the positives out of what's going on here. It's a fantastic time to be. It's not a fantastic time to be having an Easter weekend or a long weekend because we're stuck at home. We're all stuck, not doing too much. However, it's great to spend time with your family, spend time at home. Who am I kidding? Of course, we want to get out and do some other things and see some other people, but we have to make the best of a bad situation. So I hope everybody is keeping well. I hope everybody is keeping safe. I hope everybody is happy and ready for a new trading week. Now, obviously, today's Tuesday. Markets were open yesterday. We did have markets open yesterday, and so we've got a bit to catch up on when we go through things. We'll go as always, and for anyone who's new to the webinars, we will go for around half an hour or so. So we'll go for around half an hour or so. So if you do have any questions at all, then do let me know. Of course, I am more than happy to answer anything. I'll just send you a quick message in here to just so you know where to send your questions. There is a Q&A and there is a chat. So the chat I'm going to send you now. The chat I'm going to send to you all today. If you send a question into here, you will get your question will be seen by everyone. You can do in the Q&A. There is a Q&A tab. If you send it in the Q&A tab, that will be a little bit more private, so you'll be able to see. You'll be able to ask your question more privately within there. Now, there are no questions which are stupid. There's no questions which are not relevant. We will get to everything and try and answer as many questions as possible. As always, we'll go for around half an hour or so. Depending on what's going on and where we are and what's moving things around. So let's kick off. Let's see what's going. See what's going on. You'll be pleased to know, people who were here last week, that my cough, I think, has gone. Touch wood, it wasn't coronavirus. It seems to be okay at the moment, which is always a positive sign. But who says my cough won't come back as soon as I start speaking yet again? So let's get going. Now, I'm writing an article at the moment, actually, and it's an article that will be sent out to you guys as clients. And as chief analyst, I am. For those of you who don't know, I am chief analyst here at Scope Markets. I am the head analyst. I run all the teams of analysis around the global operations of Scope Markets, and I help our trading team with decisions on trading and how the markets are moving and hedging and everything around those areas. So and I'm writing an article at the moment, which is going to come to you guys. It's talking about the Eurozone and the situation around the Eurozone and what's been going on with the Eurozone. Now let's look at a couple of things which have happened over the last couple of days. There's two things that I want to really focus on. Firstly is not around the Eurozone, but part of this article around the Eurozone talks about earnings season. Now, earnings season is going to be key. And I'll start with the Dow Jones here. This week sees the beginning of earnings season. Earnings season is coming in. It's coming in with a vengeance, and it starts this week. And today, we will see the release of some key bits of data. We will see the release of some key bits of data. Now, most notably today, earnings season in the US always begins with Johnson & Johnson, usually these days. It used to start with Alcoa. It used to be Alcoa that was the big one that came out first. But that's changed somewhat. And it is financial institutions which come out, which are excellent way to gauge everything. But this is the most important earnings season we have ever had. It's the most important earnings season for a generation, because what this earnings season shows, of course, is it shows Q1. Okay, it shows Q1 and what we are. It shows Q1 and what we're going to get in terms of that. The whole coronavirus, COVID-19 impacted first quarter of this year. Now, for millions of companies, hundreds of thousands of companies around the world, there has been a hit. But of course, the US is going to be key. Now, for Delta Airlines, now we do offer US stocks at Scope. So if you scroll within your MT4, you will see there are US stocks within here. Okay, they're all within there. Now, within there, you will see a number of big different companies. You've got Netflix, you've got Apple, you've got Amazon, you've got all the FANG stocks. Now, those big stocks come out next week. Okay, so and Apple doesn't come out until the 5th of May. But remember, earnings season is staggered over a time period. So it's staggered over from one side start of middle of April to middle of May. Now, it's starting this week, and this data coming out today is going to be really, really interesting in terms of where these markets are going to go. Because what we will find out over the next month is how prepared corporate America is. Okay, how prepared corporate America is for this type of movement. And sorry, I said Delta Airlines was out on the 17th, but I think it's out 17th. It's out one point this week. But we need to know what US companies have done over the last few weeks to prepare themselves for this situation, to show exactly where we are in the cycle of how these markets have been behaving. Now, let's look at this on the daily chart. This is the daily chart of the Dow Jones. What we've seen to now is, of course, this massive economic impact and this massive fall. And I'm just going to annotate. These are easy to spot, of course, but I do just like to, maybe I just like drawing on these charts, but still. So we do have the initial move down. This is what we saw. And we're talking about a V recovery the other day. That's what we were talking about, a V recovery. And this is a V recovery to here. This downside move and then this move to the upside. However, last week we were talking about how important this area was. And we said, didn't we? We said that 50% retracement of this enormous move was really important for these markets and how they then go forward. Now, what's been key about this movement, okay, this upward movement, is that this is a movement which is solely based on two things. It's based on, number one, economic stimulus being pumped into the market. So economic stimulus is being pumped into the market. And number two, better than expected coronavirus figures. So whenever we see something along the lines of let's say New York area, the numbers have started to slow down, or we hear something around Italy or Spain, the death numbers have started to fall. That's what's caused this upside. Now, from that point of view, that tells me that these markets are moving on the basis of virus-related headlines. Now, what will happen, and I'm going to show you that, okay? So what will happen is that, what will happen after this is that the virus will finish, okay? The virus will end. Virus-related headlines and stimulus from Fed and from US government pushing markets up. Now, this is interesting, isn't it? Because yes, we've seen this movement. That's why the markets are coming higher. But what will happen going forward is that eventually the virus will finish. Okay, the virus will finish. Virus will be over. Now, a lot of people are talking now. Is now the best time to trade? Is now the best time to be in the markets? You hear a lot of people saying, well, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that market. I'm going to buy this market. Someone told me that I should be buying this. Someone told me I should be buying that. I think this stock is good. I think that stock is good. Markets are recovering. Well, markets are recovering because of this. This is artificial. This is an artificial move higher. What earnings season this week will give us is it will give us real life data. It will give us real life information. Now, what you can see at the moment is this is all artificial. As I said, artificial movements. I don't want to sound like Donald Trump, so I'm not going to say the word fake news, even though I just did. It's not fake news. It's real news, but it is artificial. It's artificial news. It's an artificially pumped up market because the stimulus is added in, yes, and that means that the market is being pushed higher by money being pumped in, which is naturally there. And number two, the virus will go away. And when the virus goes away, what we are left with is the economic impact of what's happening. And the economic impact is recession. There is no doubt about it. There will be a recession, okay? A global recession in the US, in Europe, in the UK, in Asia, potentially in Africa, everywhere. There could be a recession everywhere, okay? This is the situation. So this movement, and everyone's saying, I should be buying into the market now and rallying this higher, that is not necessarily the case. Now, markets could still come higher, yes? We could see this market break above this 50% line. And there's a question in here I just want to answer. Hang on a second. Oh, someone's asked me, what does the green and the red mean? Green and the red mean, red just means let me just cover that. I will cover that right now. And I'll answer this question for you right now. Hang on a second. The market is moving right now, and we've got a candlestick chart here. Okay, so this is the candlestick chart. A red these are all candles. Sorry, just to interject here. These are candles. Okay, the red candle means the market went down. The green candle means the market went up. Okay, so this is all down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, down. You get the picture. Okay, one more question I'll just answer quickly. Does that mean if there is a 50% retracement, the trend is likely to continue trending? You mean the uptrend? So what we're saying at the moment is that there has been a 50% retracement, and we spoke about fibs before, haven't we? Fibonacci retracements. And the Fibonacci retracement is here, movement from the high to the low. Markets have broke through the initial 23.6. They broke through the 38.2 after holding up. You can see that they held up here. Then it broke through. Now it's holding on the 50. And this 50 is really, really important. Now, we are seeing this as a trend line continuing. You can see this as a trend line continuing. Okay, there is upside there, but you can see that the 50 fib is holding up. This is a 50% retracement. Now, we have to be wary of this falling lower. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to fall lower. I'm not saying it's definitely not going to go higher. However, what I am saying is that we must be wary because this is an artificially pumped up rally. Eventually, the good news about the virus will continue, and we'll see definitely some upside. Okay, so we definitely will see some upside. We definitely will see some upside when the figures come out that the virus is going away and things are starting to get back to normal. But after that, there will be a recession. So that's why we must be wary about anything that moves around here. And earnings season gives us the real data about this. So we could see Delta Airlines expected today or in the next couple of days. Previous earnings were $1.70 EPS. That's earnings per share. Okay, estimates for Delta Airlines, and we know airline stocks have been severely hit, is for them to make a loss on their earnings per share of 86 cents per share. 86 cents per share. So that means their dividend is gone. That means everything is gone. So you can tell that this is going to be particularly poor, especially for airlines. Now, next week, we have specific webinars next week all about earnings. Okay, we're talking about the major earnings that are coming out. We will be focusing on them specifically next week. There'll be an Instagram live between myself and Kevin, who is the CEO of Scope Markets Kenya. We will be going live on Instagram talking about all of these things. But it shows that this is such a pivotal time. So what we're looking at today, let me just see what the earnings are for today. So today is a little bit quieter. We're starting out with Johnson & Johnson's is tomorrow. Yeah, I think we're looking tomorrow as some of the big ones. So Johnson & Johnson tomorrow, JP Morgan tomorrow, Wells Fargo tomorrow, Delta Airlines tomorrow. So much in the way of massive, massive data coming out. So much in the way of massive data coming out. Okay, it's really, really important. This is saying tomorrow 14th. Let me just refresh this. Maybe I'm on an old page here. This is today. I apologize. This is today. I'm talking tomorrow. Of course, this is today. So Johnson & Johnson, JP Morgan today, Wells Fargo today, Delta Airlines today. All of these things coming out today. So it's going to be key. Really, really important for when these are released. Okay, and some of them have already been released. Okay, banks usually are released. So let's have a quick look to see if we have any. JP Morgan Chase, what has happened here? Banks usually do release a tad earlier. Have they been released yet? I don't think they have. No, not been released yet. A little bit later. Pre-market. They announced pre-market today at some point. So they've not come out yet. It should be coming out very soon. But this is what we expect, and we must be looking for these sorts of things, these big movements to the upside. Let's look at something else. Let's look at other markets. And guys, remember, if you have any questions about, or you have anything you want me to look at, which is a specific stock or currency or anything like that, if we have it on the chart, I will show it to you and have a look. Now, let's look at something because it's been really important over the last couple of days. Sterling versus the US dollar. How long? We've been speaking about this for a long time. 61.8% retracement and this 124.85 level. Really, really important. It has broken and it has confirmed. Broken and confirmed. This was the move that we were looking at. Let's just take this out a little bit and show you. This was the key thing, isn't it? So here we saw this, and this has happened like a dream because this is exactly the sort of breakout that we want to. This is how stock textbooks want this to happen. Let me annotate this for you. Key movements here. So let's look. In we come. Highlight this. Number 1. Number 2. I did this the other day for you. Number 3. Number 4. Market played around. Number 5. You can see this was getting really tight. It narrowed in. It broke below. Fake out. It faked us out. Now, this is an interesting thing here because this faked us out. Okay, this broke out below this trend line. And we said this was moving in and narrowing in. It bounced off of here and came lower. We would have said to that, what? We would have said sell signal. We would have said sell signal for sure. Market's coming lower. And we would expect that, wouldn't we? That didn't happen. That didn't happen. This is why we have to have a tight stop because we saw the move. This is why stop losses are so important because this stop loss in here would have saved us. Okay, this stop loss would have saved us. Okay, stop loss up here, just above the breakout of 124.85. I would have had it probably at the 61.8% retracement. But the 1, 2, 3 breakout, and now look at us. We're going higher, and this is key as well because what we saw here was touch, fake out, move, stopped out fine, but definitely on the daily chart we saw a close above this level. Then the market's rallying. So that movement here is key because this came up and retested. What's interesting is when we see a trend line is the breakout on the downside, then retest on the upside. I like that in a trend line especially, was when the trend line breaks and then comes and retests. And this is actually retesting on the upside still, but this is definitely bullish. Okay, definitely a bullish move. Higher highs, higher lows. Markets are moving. Markets are moving higher there. So very, very positive in terms of our movement. So the movement is, so that's really interesting from terms of that. So that is a breakout. Now, remember what we said about confirming our, let's get rid of these. About confirmation is how we place our trades. Confirmation is how we place our trades and how we see what's going on. I will answer your questions in a moment on here. I can see lots of questions coming in. I will answer your questions in a moment. But confirmation is what we want. So a breakout of 124.85 was clear. Go into the daily chart here. Zoom that. Oh. daily candle, jump above, breaks out of both, confirms us higher. So that's a confirmation. Now, again, we can't say for sure that this is a definite break, can we? We can't say for sure because we don't really know. Of course, we never know. The one thing we all have in common, remember that I always tell you. Oh, don't want that color. The one thing we all have in common is we don't know where the markets are going to go. So let's look. This is our confirmation. Okay, and let me write down why this is a confirmation, just so everybody knows. Confirmation. Now that confirmation is really, really important. Confirmation. Candle closed above level. That's our confirmation. Okay, that's what we're looking at. So that confirmation there is interesting. Now we're bullish. Now we're bullish on this. Okay, so this is running higher. Now this runs higher. We look. What do we look for? We look for where this market's going to go now. Now today, indecision. That's good for us at the moment. What I mean by today is look at. Oh, come on. Oh, that's why. I want to zoom this in. Right, indecision in here. Let me get rid of this. I'm running at 100 miles an hour today, so bear with me. There's lots for us to get through. So you look here. This candle, the daily candle today, is undecided. Not big movement higher, not a big movement lower, but it hasn't broken below what? What is key that we'd speak about on a daily basis. Now, what we will do in here is get rid of a few levels. So I just want to get rid of. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of not that. This. Okay, so what's key now is we highlight two things, and then we've got three levels in here which are really important for us. Downside. Remember, previous day's low. And again, we spoke about this last week, didn't we? Previous day's high. So there we are. We've broken above that high. So do we need that high anymore? No, because it's been broken. So we move higher, put this at the high. So now we know where we are. And now when I come in on my hourly chart, I know where I am. Okay, I know where I am. I know that this was yesterday's low. This is 24.85. This is yesterday's low, which is in here. Okay, markets have moved higher. So 124.85 is the key level. Press the wrong button. There we go. Let's change that. I know that's a very important level now, so I want to change the color. Let's change it to blue. So that's really important because it's broken out. Okay, this is my low. This is my high. Okay, that's what I'm looking at now. I can move that slightly higher because I misplaced it. So now where I am is this is continuing higher. This is a nice move for us now. It's a nice move in this market. Look at the trend line. Not from that low. It's not going to work from that low. I think it's going to work from this one though. We look at that in here. Where does that go in? Goes in there. Looks nice. Look at that move. That is all on the break of our 124.85 here. The trend line has shifted, fine, but now we're in a good position. Okay, this is a good position. Let me come to some of your questions. Does the fake out imply that the prices are moving against the trend, or does it relate to the resistance levels? The fake out was interesting because, so the fake out was here. So the fake out was here, wasn't it? So it was what I've removed it now. It's probably around here because when this market came up here and then broke out below and then moved higher, it was just a good old-fashioned fake out. It didn't tell us anything. It just told us that the market, how big a level this 124.85 was. So sorry, around here, wasn't it? Yeah. It just told us what a big, so it was here. So it was this 124.85 told us how big that level was. Because look, you can see it playing around with it. And then the break, then you can see that this whole area, where are we? Let's annotate again. Spend my day annotating these. This whole area here, it's a big ellipsis, this one. This whole area here told us how much indecision there was, okay? How much indecision there actually was. And then, if I then go in and show you exactly where, so if I go in and show you exactly where the session there, so that's where the session changed. So this whole area here was indecisive. Okay, it was all the time of break, don't know what we're doing. Towards the end of the session, broke out, closed, and now we're playing around. And you look here, the market tried to come lower, but didn't like it. Tried to sell off, but it didn't like it. Down at those lower points and broke higher, pushed higher every single time. So really important there. Really important, the movements in this. Let's have a look, a couple of others. I'll give you my my Instagram handle in a moment. Where are we here? Let's have a look. Which stocks, indices should an amateur trade start trading for this period? I'd say look at the indices. Look at the Dow Jones. Look at how that's moving. Look at how the indices are trading. Look at the earnings season. Look at your FANG stocks. They're expensive to trade because of course they're very high. What's the word I'm looking for? High prices. But they're key. They're really important. So that's a key area where there is quite a keen focus around there. Now let's look. What else have we got? In here? What do you think of US oil, especially after a deal was struck between OPEC Plus and Russia to stabilize the markets? Well, very much like the Eurozone, and I'll give you a sneak peek of this. Let me give you a sneak peek of something that I'm writing. Let's have a look. Sneak peek of this. I'm writing this at the moment. It's a big article that is for Business Daily newspaper in Kenya. This is for Business Daily newspaper in Kenya. I'm writing this. This is about the Eurozone failing, but it also covers OPEC and oil and what oil are doing. The Eurozone is failing, but so is OPEC. Okay, so is OPEC, and that's what I'm saying to you now is that I don't think OPEC is doing the right thing. They haven't cut by anywhere near enough, and that is why, if I show you, my computer is starting to slow down. That is why, where are we? US oil, US oil. That is why this is happening. Markets are selling off yet again. That's why we haven't done enough. They haven't done enough. Look at this, flag formation. Flag formation. How do we spot a flag? Now, later this week, we're doing pattern recognition. I don't know what day. Let me see. I think one day this week, we're doing pattern recognition as one of the webinars. Let me just find out. Yeah, how to spot reversal patterns. That's on Friday. We're doing reversal patterns on Friday. But look at this. This is a key. This is a flag formation. Up, flag. That's a flag. Now, if it breaks out one way out of there, then that's how we look now. But oil, that's a technical analysis point. So our technical analysis point is saying that there's a flag formation in here, flagpole, and then your some people say pennant, some people say flagpole, whatever. I think flag is more a flag than a pennant. But this movement up, then this indecision in the markets. Now, why is it not flying higher? Because we've got an OPEC deal. Markets should be up here. What we expected after the OPEC deal is massive move, didn't we? We expected a massive upside, but it hasn't come. And that's because OPEC didn't do enough. We expected this indecision and then this wallop. Didn't happen. That's what OPEC wanted to happen. It wanted up here, $50 again. Wanted markets trading up around these sorts of areas again, but it hasn't happened. And it's because they have not done enough. They have not done enough to solve the problem. Now they're still going on. Mexico's still saying that they're not going to do enough, do what they said they're going to do. But the US hasn't done enough. US has asked individual companies to do cut by $1 million barrels a day, and you're looking at other countries doing $10 million barrels a day. But it's not enough. It's just not enough to save the oil market. Let me look elsewhere. This is. Oh, hang on a second. We're getting close. There we go. What's talking to see? IG handle. Let's look at my IG handle. Yes. So guys, we are doing next week. We are doing a. Next week we are doing a live IG live with Scope Market CEO Kevin Nganga. Excuse my pronunciation. My pronunciation may be terrible there, so I apologize. But we're doing an Instagram live. My handle. Let me show you my handle now. My handle. I will be doing it from this account here. Please feel free to follow this account. I usually add to the stories. There's nothing on the stories as of yet. I don't add too much to the grid. This was done the last time I was in Kenya. It's got some of the bits that I do, some videos of market updates that I do. I add a few charts in here. So please feel free to follow me on here. This is where I'll be doing the IG live from. So this will all come in, all be done through this. JRH Trading, at JRH Trading. And later today, you'll see some updates of what I have in terms of on my stories. I'll update on the markets and various different points. But that is where we'll be doing the IG live from. And if you follow this and follow Scope Markets Kenya, Scope Markets Kenya is also the other one that we will be doing the IG live from. That's where we'll be doing the IG live from. Let's go back to the markets. Let's see what else is moving us today. So guys, yeah, hopefully these webinars are useful to you. It's fantastic to see so many of you coming in and being part of this, being part of our community here. We're really keen on helping you out, helping people out, and hopefully during this lockdown time, giving you the ability to find some information and just teach you how to do this. We don't want to leave you on your own when it comes to trading. We want to give you this information, try and help you and help you to do this. So with myself and Rufus and some other professionals that we get in to do some webinars for us, I hope this is helpful to you all and continues to work well. So we're really keen. Tomorrow, the focus is moving averages. I think tomorrow. I keep thinking today's Monday. It's not Monday. Tomorrow, the focus is moving averages, how to trade using moving averages. So I'll be putting moving averages on my charts, looking at the golden cross, looking at the death cross, how to read crosses of moving averages, how to use them in your trading. So I am a qualified technical analyst. I've been qualified in this. I've worked in the City of London for 18 years doing trading. So hopefully this will all be helpful to you guys. There's one more question come through here. Just want to see. Oh no, it's not a question. Okay. Oh, it's a thank you. Perfect. Well, thank you guys for joining. The IG live will be next week. So glad to see you. I can see all the followers coming through on my phone. Perfect. Thank you very much, guys, for today. Excellent to see you all coming in. It's perfect to continue doing these. We are more than happy to see you and have you every single day. So please sign up for tomorrow's webinar. I'll post it on my IG Instagram live page. And all of them are on the website. All of them are on our Scope Hub, so you can see them all in there. I'll put it on my IG live page as well, so you can get into there and see what I've been doing. There's also a seminar that I did worked for a previous company then, but a seminar that I did in Dubai about trading. So please take a look at that if you want to. There's information and some live points from when I did my seminar in Nairobi. Hopefully there was a few of you who are joining here who was with us in Nairobi when I did the seminar in the Intercon. Hopefully that maybe some of you are here, some of you on here, maybe you came to that. But we were planning, it was planned that on the first week of May, I was going to be back in Nairobi doing a live seminar again. But I obviously we can't come. But as soon as this clears, as soon as coronavirus clears, I am coming to Nairobi again to do more live seminars. So it'd be fantastic to meet you all in person at that point. So be perfect for you to come. So if you can come to maybe be the Intercon again, but hopefully it's not going to be the Intercon. Hopefully we get too many people for the Intercon. We want the Intercon to be too small to hold us next time. That's what we want. But apart from that, guys, thank you very much for joining us. I want to be great to see you all tomorrow. Stay up to date on the IG page or our Scope Hub page. That will give you all the information that you need to know. Apart from that, someone asked me dollar Swiss. Who wants to have a quick look at dollar Swiss? Let's look a quick look at dollar Swiss. Someone's asked me, just got in just before we finished. Then let's look at dollar Swiss. Have I got it here? I think I've got a signal on dollar Swiss. No, maybe not. Let's have a look. Let's find dollar Swiss. If you guys want to stay, if you can hang around, let's look at dollar Swiss and gold as well. Okay, let's look. Let's not end just yet. Let's keep going. Why not? Let's keep going. We're all happy. We're all healthy. Let's keep going. I've got to find it though. Dollar Swiss. If you can see it, there it is. Oh, it's here. God, it's here. Look. Let's put my template on. Okay, let's look at dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss. Now, let me just have a quick look. What else? Dollar Swiss. Someone said tomorrow's IG is at what time? No, it's not tomorrow. It's next week. It's next week. Next week's IG. Instagram Live next week. Right. Let's look. Dollar Swiss. Well, we can see this key. This is 4 hour. So let's put our trend line in here. Take a look at this. Head and shoulders formation, maybe. Head and shoulders formation is interesting because you have maybe head up here. You have here. Left shoulder, you have here, right shoulder. So head and shoulders formation is interesting because you have left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Now the way we work this is we then draw a neckline. So we draw a neckline. We draw a neckline in here at this point. Let me make this, change this out. So we draw the neckline in here, head and shoulders formation, and then we say, okay, we say this. We say the target is then a break of the neckline. So we look at this. We go from here, whoa. We look at here to here. We look here to here, and then we say that same break, so that same movement, once this is broken. Okay, so we do this. We go, I can't draw because it's not working. But we say this same movement here. So if I do this, if I annotate this again, we say the same movement from that point once it breaks. So we look for a break here, and we say this same movement down to here. Okay, so then it makes our target, and our target is then at that lower point. However, in this case, there is a level in between this. The level is then in here, isn't it? There is a key level here. There's a key level in here as well. Okay, so you've got an interesting area here. So if this breaks, we look for a break of this. So we want to break here. If this breaks, then the market comes through. We have two targets. We have target down here. We have target down here. Now, this is quite a long way, okay? This is quite a long way because we have, remember, this is 4-hourly chart. This is a 4-hourly chart on dollar Swiss. Now, dollar has been coming off, and this is what we're seeing here, the dollar coming off a little bit. Sold off, recovered, still coming off, okay? This is US dollar downside. Okay, so US dollar falling, Swiss franc going up. So it's interesting. And someone's asking me here, how do I pick what I'm looking at? Now it's tough, but you have to have a situation where you have all your charts and you have to spot these movements. Now you can spot this, and this is a setup. Okay, so our setup now says this. It now says if we break below here, we break below this level, we're in a situation where we can see a market break and then come down to these sorts of areas. Now you have a low point, 95 is our level on the downside. But remember, like I said to you, we have to have confirmation. We'll have to have confirmation, don't we? That's what we want to see, confirmation of our movement. Now, this confirmation isn't coming because we've got one, and maybe if this turns around at this level, then that's a confirmation on this. It gives us a two-touch on this support line, this neckline. We can still wait for this, but we know also the market is narrowing. And if I say narrowing, I mean this. I must end soon. We're going for a long time here, but by narrowing, I mean this. If you look at this, you see that. And then, but if I go in here, it's lower. The move is not as big. You can see the price action is narrowing, right? The price action is narrowing. It's getting smaller. It's getting smaller. It's getting smaller. It's getting smaller. Until eventually we go all the way through this. We go all the way through this, and eventually this breaks. Okay. Now it may break this way, which means the market breaks to the upside, or it may break to the downside. Now, if it breaks to the downside, we say, okay, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. This is head and shoulders formation. This is a breakout, and we have a target down here. First 95, second 94.18. Okay, so it gives us that information. So that's our move there. Let's have a little look at gold. Let's look at, someone asked for gold. I'm going for a long time. Let's, gold will be the last one. Let's look at gold, the last one, because I have to finish at one point. Gold, gold, gold. If I can find it, here it is. I've probably got it open already. Where is gold? Where is gold? Where is gold? Gold's already got our Bollingers on it here. Gold's been breaking out to the upside. Downside level in here, but what do we do? What do we do on a daily basis? Daily chart. Look at the strength of this. Wipes this complete downside out. Now gold is the safe haven. Now gold is the safe haven. It's at the high. Look at the moves. This is yesterday's low. Down here, 1681, we're trading 1733. Gold is absolutely flying. There is nothing else in this apart from saying, look at the movement. This is yesterday's low. This is our downside, and this is just flying. It's bouncing from this middle Bollinger. It's bounced higher, bounced higher, bounced higher. It's bouncing from the middle of Bollinger, which is a moving average. Again, we're talking about moving average. Moving averages again in the next couple of weeks. In tomorrow's webinar is moving averages. So we'll talk about the Bollingers a little bit again tomorrow. But this is just strength. Strength all the way. We do have a level in here. Levels there. But you can see that this is just strength all the way. It's breaking out. It's moving strongly high. I'm not even going to put a trend line in here because it's too strong. It's going up too fast, and it becomes impossible to put a trend line on. It's hitting the highs. What we have to look for is where the highs are going back. There are no highs. We're at all-time highs. No. We have to go back to the monthly to 2012 to see the next high. So the next level, 1794. That's the big level now we look out for. Okay, this is the big level we have to look out for because that's the movement to the upside. Okay, all these levels in here, ignore them. This one here is the key one. Okay, and maybe even slightly higher than that, we would look at that one. So maybe $1,800. $1,800 is the key on gold. Okay, that's the movement that we have at the top. This is the all-time high up at this high point, but the movement, massive, massive. Very, very strong. Doesn't look like any signs at the moment that that's turning around, because it is now the safe haven that it wasn't before. Guys, remember, one more time, I'll just show you signing up for our webinars. We will have all of our what's the word I'm looking for? Earnings-based webinars next week, but that is the Instagram page for our IG Live next week. Okay, that's the Instagram for our IG Live next week. There'll be some content on here a little bit later on that you'll be able to see. Unfortunately, I'm not wearing suits anymore at the moment because I'm wearing my hoodies because I'm at home in my trading den. So it's not so much of a focus on looking smart at the moment. So you have to excuse that. But apart from that, guys, thank you very much for your time today. Excellent to have you all with us. Perfect to see so many people coming. Please register for tomorrow. Please sign up to the IG pages. Excellent to see you all, and I will see you again tomorrow, hopefully. Thank you very much. Speak to you tomorrow.